Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I hope you're well and you're looking after yourself. Next topic in literacy, we are moving on to instructional writing. Now, in one of my past videos, I did a little demo about how to create the most disgusting sandwich in the world. So we have had a little bit of practice there, and also we've done it in class before. So eventually, we are going to write our own set of instructions, but I thought what would be ideal first is to have an introduction to instructions and look at the features and just have a little play about with it and have a look at some instructions before we start writing our own instructions. So today's activity, we're going to be looking at the features of instructions, and we're going to be following some instructions by doing a really fun activity together. Shall we get started? You ready? Let's go. So now we're going to look at the features of instructions. So all the things that you need to include when you're writing a set of instructions. So let's take a look at the first thing you need to include. A title. So a title of what you're going to be instructing somebody to do. A statement of what is going to be achieved. So this is kind of like a little description paragraph. Equipment list. So all the materials you're going to need. Time connectives. Can you think of any time connectives? Great. You can have first, next, then. There are lots of time connectives that you could use. Chronological order. So that means in the order that it happens in. Bossy verbs. So for example, make, draw, spread. These are what we would call our instructional verbs that give us an action or something that we need to perform. Numbered points. And lastly, illustrations and pictures. However, not all instructions have pictures. Some of them do, some of them don't. Let's remember that instructions are written in present tense and normally written in second person. So that means using language such as you need to do this. Now, our activity today is going to be to follow these instructions I have here to draw King Tutankhamun. But before we follow the instructions, why don't we check to see if they have all the features of instructions together? So here we've got our title for our instructions. And here we have our statement of what is going to be achieved, or in other words, our description. We also have an equipment list, so all the things we're going to need for this activity. There are also numbered points to show us the order of the instructions. This also tells us that it's in chronological order. I've spotted some time connectives as well. If we turn onto the back, our instructions continue. I can also spot some bossy verbs, so our instructional verbs that tell us the action we have to perform. And lastly, we also have illustrations down the side so we can follow what we're doing step by step. Now for some fun. We're going to follow these instructions now to see if we can draw King Tutankhamun. So if you'd like to do it along with me, feel free to pause the video whenever you need to, and hopefully our drawings are going to turn out great. Good luck! On our equipment list, we need some paper, a pencil, some colouring pencils and a ruler. Make sure you have the equipment and then we're ready to begin. So instruction number 1 says make guidelines, draw the head. So to make my guidelines, I'm going to actually fold the paper in half and then in half again, just so I know that it's equal. Now for the head. That's a pretty good head, right? Moving on to instruction number 2, begin the headdress. Fun fact, an Egyptian pharaoh wore a headdress to symbolise their importance and separate them from common people. Step number 3 is to draw symmetrical curves. Remember, the term symmetrical means when one side is the same as the other. This bit might be quite tricky to get it exactly symmetrical, so just try your best like me. If it takes you a couple of goes, then that's fine. Step number 4 is to draw the straight lines and a face. I'm trying my best to make sure the face is symmetrical too. We don't want any wonky eyebrows. Next, step 5 is to add ears and lines onto the top of the headdress. I'm going to use a ruler and make sure I draw the same amount of lines on each side. So I'm going to do 4 lines on each side. Step number 6 is to draw the horizontal lines. Again, I'm going to use my ruler to help me do my straight lines. In our illustration picture, I counted how many lines they had, and they had 13. So I'm also going to do 13 horizontal lines. Step number 7 is to draw the beard and X lines. So I'm going to draw the long beard and use my ruler to help me draw my X lines inside the beard. Step number 8 is to draw the chest piece. And finally, step number 9 is to colour it in. Ta-da! What do you think? And there we have it, a drawing of King Tutankhamun. I wonder how your drawings turn out. One thing I did notice was that you see these red parts that I've coloured in here. They didn't actually instruct us to add them onto our sketch, although I did just colour them in anyway because that's what the picture looked like. Great job on the activity. I wonder how your drawing turned out. Did you follow the instructions correctly? I hope this has helped you understand instructions. So now hopefully we can move on to planning some instructions and then writing our own instructions as well. Until next time, see you soon. Bye.